If you're running a hotel or a beach club and you're still thinking about your guest experience in terms of, activities or animation, you are leaving massive amounts of money on the table. What we're looking at today is a highly disruptive manifesto for resort transformation. So let's dive right into the Phoenix B2B playbook. The core philosophy here is simple, but honestly, it's radical. We don't entertain, we create emotional addiction. The traditional model of resort animation, where some bored staff member tries to coax guests into a half-hearted game of water polo, is dead. It's generic, it's passive, and frankly, it's completely forgettable. Outdated, expensive, old way of hospitality and the highly profitable Phoenix way. The old model treats people as passive guests experiencing generic animation. And you know where that sits on your profit and loss sheet? As a pure expense. The Phoenix model flips this entirely on its head. The guest becomes a club member, the animation becomes an emotional spectacle, and most importantly, that dead expense transforms into active revenue. Section 1. The Phoenix Operational Ecosystem. The crucial takeaway here is that this transformation isn't just about throwing better parties. It's a meticulously engineered operational framework. To make this ecosystem work, the Phoenix mandate focuses on three very distinct psychological tiers. Emotions provide temporary joy, like, say, a really good cocktail. Memories create a visceral impact. But stories? Stories are what actually create that emotional addiction. The entire goal here is to completely bypass what the industry calls 48-hour guest amnesia. Where guests forget their vacation 2 days after flying home. You want them leaving with a powerful story they immediately post online, which basically acts as your absolute best organic marketing engine. So, how does this actually play out? A Phoenix resort doesn't just let the day happen randomly. They engineer a daily emotional curve. Step 1 is the awakening. Think soft energy, sunrise stretches. Step 2 is activation, pool games, high physical energy. Step 3 is connection, sunset DJ sessions to build community. And finally, step 4 is the apotheosis, that massive theatrical peak at night. The energy of the resort is literally never chaotic. It's carefully curated to peak at exactly the right, profitable moments. Within that daily curve, you have these zenith moments. Take this spontaneous feeling flash mob pranks at 10 a.m. or a massive aqua gym session right before lunch. To the guests, casually sipping a margarita, it feels like an incredibly spontaneous eruption of joy. But in reality, it's a highly choreographed strategy designed to unify the entire resort's population at the exact same time. Which brings us to Section 2, your new operational identity. Because none of this highly calibrated energy works without the right human engine driving it. We're talking about a complete reprogramming of the resort staff. The tribal ecosystem mindset is completely different now. A team member is no longer just standing by the pool with a clipboard. They have to operate at the intersection of three specific roles. They're an actor, projecting energy, a psychologist, constantly reading the room, and a strategist, actively working to maximize the resort's revenue and engagement. We absolutely have to emphasize the lexical reprogramming happening here. Phoenix outright kills the term animator. That concept is totally banned. Enter the club operator. They are an emotional engineer and a social mediator. A club operator never asks what activity is next on the schedule. Instead, they're asking what specific emotion does this resort need right now. Of course, transforming a regular hotel worker into a psychological strategist requires some seriously high-level training. To pull this off, the Phoenix Academy utilizes clever tech, like silent disco setups to train their DJs and club operators. This allows for intense, immersive staff education without causing acoustic pollution that might ruin the vibe for paying guests trying to relax elsewhere in the resort. It's just a brilliant operational workaround. Let's look at Section 3, Guest Emotional Engineering. How do these highly trained club operators actually read the crowd? Phoenix knows that a one-size-fits-all approach to hospitality is a guaranteed way to fail, so their intergenerational matrix trains staff to adopt their communication instantly. Gen X, they demand brutal honesty, clear instructions, and absolute respect for personal space. Millennials are looking for authentic connection and experiences worthy of a narrative. And Gen Z, they require a mix of digital attraction and mindfulness, interactive QR dynamics combined with conscious disconnect. You really have to speak their specific emotional language. Beyond just age, guests are broken down into 4 distinct behavioral profiles. The leader, who naturally commands attention, The energetic, who wants physical action but doesn't necessarily want the microphone, the social, who just wants to mingle, and the spectator, who happily enjoys watching from the sidelines. The golden rule for the club operator is to perfectly place guests in the action based on these profiles, without ever forcing participation or making a spectator feel awkward. Section 4. Monetization and Strategic Calendar. All right, let's pivot to the hard business metrics. How do we take all this engineered emotional connection and turn it into cold, hard cash? This revenue mapping technique is absolutely the secret sauce. You don't just throw a party, you attach a specific revenue generator to it. For example, January 19th is notoriously known as Blue Monday, supposedly the saddest day of the year. Phoenix flips it into an anti-sadness festival. January 13th is World Bubblegum Day, so they throw a bubblegum neon party. But the crucial part is the revenue generator. The Anti-Sadness Festival drives the sale of premium cocktails. The Neon Party pushes VIP neon kits from the resort shop. The quirky holiday is the hook, but the upselling is the catch. When you scale this daily mapping up, you get the grand stage. This weekly architecture is part of a massive 56-week master calendar. Monday might be the welcome show. Tuesday is an immersive bilingual narrative. Thursday is an Academy Award show. This incredible scalability practically guarantees a general manager that there will never, ever be a dead day in a Phoenix-operated resort. Physically, this ecosystem plays out in high-energy spaces, like the Beach Club, operating as a serious day-to-night revenue engine. Concepts like the Beach Party and the Paradise DJ stage attract what they call club breakers. These are external, non-hotel guests who come in purely for the vibe. They spend aggressively on food, drinks, and VIP tables, generating massive income without ever taking up room inventory. Moving to our final part, Section 5, Phoenix Profitability and Legacy. Let's tie this entire anti-corporate pitch together with the undeniable business outcomes that owners actually care about. I want to rapid-fire these concrete ROI metrics for you. First, RevPAG acceleration, meaning a dramatic increase in revenue per available guest through emotional upselling. Second, organic social virality, where your guests literally become your marketing team. Third, food and beverage revenue integration. F&B isn't just sustenance anymore, it's tied directly to the show. Fourth, optimize labor costs, getting way more value out of cross-trained strategic staff. And finally, absolute brand differentiation. You are no longer just competing on room price. And this brings us to the ultimate goal, the Phoenix Legacy. The endpoint of all this complex engineering isn't just a fun weekend. It's creating a fiercely loyal tribe of guests who feel so seen, so energized, and so connected that they don't feel like they're just booking a vacation anymore. They feel like they're returning home to your brand. To summarize our deep dive today, the core value proposition of the Phoenix system is crystal clear. It takes stagnant, boring resort entertainment and transforms it into a reputation, loyalty, and financial powerhouse. It's all about converting passive environments into highly dynamic, profitable ecosystems. Which leaves us with one final, provocative question to think about. Are you ready to apply the Phoenix system and transform your resort into a destination of emotional addiction? Because honestly, if you don't, another resort down the beach absolutely will, and they'll steal your guests' loyalty forever. Just think about that the next time you see a boring hotel animation schedule.